Hello, my name is Count Lovenstein, and I run a music production company called Photogenic Ripper Productions. But among other things, I also really love Cyberpunk and Cyberpunk Sims and Second Life. So I'm going to do a walk around of a place called Dystopian Night, that is in Silver Isles at 7614938085, as can be seen up here. So we're on a Firestorm release in Linux. The performance issues with PBR are supposed to be cleared up now, so with a bit of luck this video might go quite smoothly. There's a tip jar here in the shape of a tesseract, which is can be roughly described as the three-dimensional shadow of a four-dimensional hypercube. Now, this place was made by Mowser 69.xm. Let's have a look at his profile. So it looks like he's been quite busy, and this place, well, it's not the biggest cyberpunk city sim in Second Life. He really has pulled out all the stops to cram a lot into it. I mean, there really is a lot of detail here, and already we can see the cyberpunk tropes, the high tech and low life, the neon everywhere, kind of tacky neon, the East Asian kind of stylings, and that I believe comes in large part from William Gibson, who set his Sprawl trilogy, a lot of it in East Asian kind of mega cities, because he didn't want to continue with the sort of 1970s tradition of American space type of sci-fi. I'm sure I have mentioned that in some walk-rounds before. This building here, this is Bobby. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. Hikirikika Jin. He builds these JPK Kowloon Walled City pieces. There are loads of them. They're all really cool. What is really excellent about them is you have full permissions to literally strip them to bits, like Lego, and then rebuild them in any way you want. He actually, judging by some of the stuff here, does his shopping in some of the same places I do. Oh, cannabis. There's another cyberpunk trope of the future, drug use. Now, I think looking at that, this Sector 2 is probably a teleporter. This is probably joined in a way to try and achieve some immersion with another sim. So I'll have a look at that later, but I don't want to teleport out of here just yet. So I want to have a good look around. So here we have another cyberpunk dystopian trope. The sex trade is rife in cyberpunk books and movies. He's done quite well actually with the kind of soundscaping here. Sound design's quite good, it's quite thick. Usually I find visiting a lot of sims in Second Life, not a lot of thought is given to the audio, and the soundscape is very thin. Like, I mean, if I was going to soundscape a 5-minute short film, I would be looking to have a good couple of hundred sounds in it at least. Not quite sure what this is. DRD, Death Row Designs. They make a lot of really cool stuff that you can buy if you're into creating these kind of places. I like these screens here as well, that's a nice touch. They actually seem to be an integral part of this building. Oh, Minimal, they're another excellent place for buying stuff for cyberpunk sims. I've got one of their flat blocks at my own place. Cops. Cops with flying cars. Air quality level yellow. Luckily, my Second Life avatar is quite impervious to any kind of lung injuries. Now that's some nice work here with these, like, I don't know where they originated from, whether it was China, Japan or whatever, but I've seen a lot of them in Japanese stuff. Never been to Japan. I would love to go one day if I can never overcome the fear of getting in a plane for 13 hours or whatever it is. But I have checked out a lot of Japanese kind of stuff through film and music videos and anime and such like. Oh, hello. Now, seemingly, I was watching a really cool architect called Dami Lee the other day. She tells lots of cool stories about various things. It's not just straight architecture, as in designing buildings she's into. She does deep dives into various crazy architectural things that have been built or designed around the world. And one of the things I heard her talking about was how in Japan you can have so many of these little kind of mini restaurant places, and the reason for that is they have such care and attention put into their public toilet system over there. There are literally public toilets anywhere you go in a city, and very easy to find, and they're clean and not wrecked like they are in the Western world. So these places can pop up because the restaurants over there don't really need to have toilet facilities. The old hologram, so this is one thing they really, like William Gibson has been stated as saying, if a teenage girl now was to read Neuromancer, they'd get 20 pages in and they'd think, I know what this book's about. It's about what happened to all the cell phones. Look at stuff like 2001: A Space Odyssey, Blade Runner. They all had this idea that people would be having video conversations with each other in the future, but they don't seem to have had the idea that the video transceiver would actually be so small it could reside in your pocket. So in these films you'll see these video phones everywhere, and they'll put their bank cards in and they'll get so many minutes of call time for so much money. That is one area I think where we've done rather better in real life. In 2001 we had interplanetary space travel, but no cell phones. In the real world we've got cell phones everywhere and no interplanetary space travel. Personally, I think the cell phones are probably more useful. I don't really see interplanetary space travel doing much for humanity in the foreseeable future. We're really gonna have to fix this planet. You know, once they can fucking terraform Glasgow, then you might be able to believe that terraforming Mars is a remote possibility. Gajin, Saki House. I believe, I could be wrong, I'm not an expert, but if I remember rightly, Gajin is the Japanese term for a foreigner, much like what we'd call an immigrant over here. Particularly those of us who have a problem with them. Personally speaking, I don't really care what side of an imaginary line someone's born on. As long as they're nice, that is fine with me. So Moloko Plus, that's from A Clockwork Orange. So Moloko is the Russian word for milk. I think. Actually, I'm just going to confirm that. Yes, it is. It's Anthony Burgess, when he wrote A Clockwork Orange, he wrote quite a lot of it in Russian. There are Russian words in the film, but the book was much thicker with it. The idea being you would have to buy a Russian dictionary, but in fact, if you just read the first couple of chapters, then go back and read the book again from the beginning, by that time you've kind of figured out what the Russian words mean. Yeah, anyway. Just trying to get close enough so the... yeah, bugger. Right, I've got shit eyesight, so I'm sure anyone under the age of 50 will be able to read that. The one on the left, pink one, is called Drinkrom. That is short for adrenochrome. Synthamesk is short for synthetic mescaline. And Velicet, that's a kind of derived from the Roman Latin word for flight. So I don't think it means flight as in like flapping your wings or getting in a plane. I think it's more to do it with flight as in running away from something. But that was your speedy type of drugs. So they were, they drank them in local bars, milk bars, in the Clockwork Orange book and film. And they did that to kind of sharpen themselves up before they went out looking for fights. Oh, that's nice. This actually is two-dimensional. It looks kind of 3D when you see it from this kind of angle, but it's actually just a flat plane. It's quite cool. I wonder who made it. Potty Breda Tech All Dancing Girl. Might have to go shopping and look for that later. That looks very like Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction, if I'm not mistaken. This building is also one I've got at home. And again, it's very cool. It's one of the JPK ones that you can really take apart and reassemble. It's excellent for having on the outer wall of your sim because it's long and thin and it's quite low on the land impact. So it's not quite like Unity or Unreal where you can just add more and more stuff till you're computer runs out of resources, second life, you get maximum about 30,000 prims to play with. So you have to get really good at kind of figuring out ways to build things that look cool while limiting the amount of resources you're using. So, German Mo block south. I think we're near the sim edge, so I'm not sure if, yeah, right. No. Where is that? Central Tokyo. So yeah, I think this place is really cool. I'm really impressed with how he's made such a good use of limited space. But before I go back home, I just want to test my theory whether this may be a teleporter. Nope, I think I maybe was wrong. Oh no, I was right. Stop, but what's that? Right, so here we are in Sektor 2. Dream hack. This is also a JPK building. I'll actually use this particular one as well. Again, Again, he's done really fantastically well with the audio. It's a pretty immersive soundscape. What have we here? Oh, a library. And an ancient cash register. And that looks like Jude Law in the background. I'm gonna fall down that bloody pole again, am I? Nope. Hovering car. Again, we're really thick with the neon lights. This is really nice stuff. I am impressed. See, one thing about Second Life, the land is really quite extortionate. I mean, a full sim costs you about $250 per month. I mean, that's almost the same as my car payments. And I do have an old car. It was bought with about 5,000 miles on it. So this is a guy who's managed to really pull out all the stops to circumvent those limitations. You stand. That's nice. So this is a filler, MK270 filler 6 by Amps Facey. He makes a lot of cool stuff like this. So fillers use virtually no LI, like this whole building here's land impact 7. Remaining capacity 3. I mean, this guy is really taking this right down to the fucking wire. These very low LI, and they don't have scripts in them, so they're very, very light in the resources that they use. So having this bit of the sim here centered around that is really, it's a great idea. In a lot of ways it's more impressive to see something like this where a guy has really, really pushed the limitations to the max, rather than someone who's just come along with bags of money and bought a full sim with 30,000 LI available. I mean, this guy's really, really put a lot of work into this. And the design of it is still great. I think I'm in a red light district here, literally speaking. Right, so that's coming up on half an hour, and that has been great fun. So I'll call it a day here. To sum up, I just think it's a really excellent piece of work.